Hello, hello, hello to part 9 of Wizardry 5, Heart of the Maelstrom. And as mentioned before in the last part there, I pretty much split the video here because this section it actually needs some explaining. So I'm at the point right now that all those items that I kept right now become vital. And of course I fought those gorillas before, Donkey Kong and Conky Kong I suppose, and they do hit hard. So if you have any like sleep spells or anything, they'll probably be the best way to handle them. Alright, first a brief explanation of what's going to happen. Now, I mentioned in the earlier part that there's going to be a maze. That's just going to be 2 mazes. The first maze is pretty much straightforward. If you just follow the instructions from top to bottom, what I mean by instructions, I mean by choices, there shouldn't really be a problem. So right now I just gotta navigate through the halls here, and there's going to be 4 selections on the first part. Basically, if you choose a certain choice or a certain color, the walls will shift, and you have the option of going through that hallway. But at the same time, once a hallway opens or a wall opens, the other hallway you came from closes. So you have to be careful and know your bearings. Now, before I even do that, there's going to be these pads here. And these pads are security devices, and what they do, they summon monsters. This is actually a great place to get money and experience. However, there'll be some monsters there that will, well, let's just say, destroy your armor. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you might meet or, let's say, be defeated by armor monsters, which pretty much destroy your armor, and I actually don't want that. If that ever happens to this game, just reset it, especially if it's armor they cannot get at this level. It's also a great place to also get items for this level for your equipment if you didn't bother go to the level below, which was at part ago. So I got myself a quested shield. That's actually a curse, so I don't want it, don't need it, don't even want to look at it. But it might be great for selling, but I do not believe that. You probably know, just before you continue, I probably notice right now that my party members' items are very high. You only carry up 8 items at a time, and that includes equipped items. And during the course of the game, that number is going to get much higher, especially when I'm going to need much more items, especially cards. I'll get that during the course of the walkthrough there. And it's a black blade. I actually picked up that before. It's not that good at this point, so I can actually toss it or just sell it later on. So what I'm doing right now is basically show you the monsters here. And the fire drake, usually to be a problem. And you got not a problem. Demon eye. I found a weapon. Usually weapons, I believe they might be a longbow. Let's see, my guess is correct or not. It's probably not. Light crossbow, so it's garbage. The only person that equipped the crossbows, I believe the fighters can, and also thieves, but your fighters probably want to equip melee weapons because they deal the most damage. Light crossbows can be equipped by thieves. When you do have armor knights, so when you do have a crossbow, you can attack anybody in the group, no matter how many they are. But I found that overall the weapons are weak at this point in junction. I believe there's a weapon in kit. I could be wrong. It could be the Sylph Bow. I'm probably wrong. And then there's the Armor Eater there. Very dangerous. I believe they're one of the best bows in the game. I'm not sure yet if I want to get there or not because it's, well, let's just say that they're quite difficult to get. That's from my understanding anyway. There may be some NPCs that might sell it, but I'm not worried at this point in time. I just want to survive. Let's see what this shield could be. Next shield. I believe I got that anyway, so I can just dump it. I believe the armor of knights is can be equipped by fighters. I do not believe samurais can equip it. So I'm right there. I'm just going to stop the video. I'm going to skip ahead. There we go. Dwight armor is destroyed. So that's what the armor does. So you definitely don't want to fight as much, especially if they get the first attack. Good chance they'll destroy your armor. So much for. I'm just going to stop the video and. Alright, so I'm showing just some map of the level. So that's the route I'm going to take to get to the maze. And once you click on the switches, as I mentioned before, you need to find pads. And you need to turn on all the pads. There's no wrong pads, except there's the alert pads, which was that before. So basically, if I mentioned before in this video, that if you choose the right colors, it will open up the correct wall. But there's really no wrong way, so long as you go from top to bottom. And if you do miss one, just go back there and just turn the switch again. It's not a difficult maze, but it is quite annoying and it does take some time. And I'm trying to go to the top left part of the map that you see there, which I need the gold key. I need to go to what's number 1. It'll teleport. So, here we go. And right here, if you're lucky, I believe there's a couple of areas. It's called like a bank, and they carry some unique items there. There is no penalty for taking the items, so just take it and hopefully you got room in your inventory. And you just notice there are those colored pads there. And there's some of the items there. And that's the maze we're talking about. As I mentioned before, the Holy Talisman is cast Dumbback or Doomback. It's great, especially if you think you're lost. Just hopefully you don't get to a non-magical item that when you use it, it fizzles. So you definitely don't want that. So basically in a nutshell, see I got some first gloves there that I found from the bank, I believe. Iron gloves. So unlike the other game here, this is actually a miscellaneous item here. But I do believe the night items, the night bracers are actually a bit better than the iron gloves. And only the fighters can equip the gloves, the iron gloves, not the thieves. So, come see, come sa. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to leave the video alone and I'll just show you where I go in the maze. Then I'm going to come back when I get to the door, which you need to go key. So let's go. Okay, so now at the door right now, we just need the gold key. If you don't have it, of course, you pretty much will be stuck and cannot exceed in the dungeons. And lucky you don't have to use the gold key once. And so it shows click, clack, cluck. Means the door is opened. So there's another room there. Before we even do that, you meet these NPCs, many thief NPCs here. You can actually buy information from him if you don't know what to do. You know, so he's trying to steal item from me. If he steals an item, I might mention in my videos before, don't bother continue, just reset because it could be an important quest item. And when you charm them, of course, they may not do anything. So what I'm going to do is, now, Lala Moo Moo, Moo 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 Moo, is actually a hidden boss you can fight for good items. From my understanding, he's actually much harder than the final boss, maybe. So I may go after him, I may not. We'll see how this run goes. But he's way down below the levels of the dungeon there. So you just notice that you can buy items. You don't know what they are, but I'm pretty confident of my items I got right now. So this is the room we're talking about. You see an altar. And of course you have to search. And you fight these two ghost statues. Now this is the only part of the game you fight the ghost statues. You don't fight them anywhere else. And they're just much as irritating as fighting those will-o-wisp earlier for me. Well, at least I'm hitting them. At least I'm hitting, well, good. And I do get some good gold and also a, oh, there's the tunnel there. I thought it was actually a teleporter. Now this is the second part of the game here, where this is a maze, and this is actually much more irritating because you cannot see the walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop the video. So right now what you see, once I finish with the maze, I need to go straight down and go to the question mark. I start at the second one that you see there, where you see the one and the right purple arrow. That is actually the maze I need to go through here. I need to follow it very carefully, because without this particular route, it will take probably about 25 minutes, maybe a half hour, just bumping through walls and using the Dumbek spell. This is probably the most irritating part of the game so far, but thank God it's not very long, and you definitely don't want to screw up, because you notice there, if you take the wrong route, you'll take right back in the maze. Alright, so let's go back to the game. Okie dokie, so now I'm out of the maze and I'll get to my first obstacle, this little statue here. And gives you some information on what you need to do to get past this particular statue. Since I already know the answer here, the answer is time. May pass. And you get the information on the first level of the game here, but I found that the puzzles in this game is so cryptic it's almost impossible. Thank God for a walkthrough. I'd like to thank the people who actually know the answer without looking it up. So you can come to this massive door. Now this is the part of the game where you better have some money. And right now I actually don't have the money. Before I even do that, I have to pass this blocked door. Picking will not work. And that's where the skeleton key comes in. And I'm not sure that I identified it. Yes, I did identify it. And you only have to use the key once. But you're not done yet. Of course, I have to pass these guys, otherwise they're going to drain me of my levels. I fought whites before. Thank God they don't have the hit points. As I mentioned before, you need money. You need lots and lots of money. At this point in Junction, I don't have enough money, and I don't really want to go through all that maze again. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a code in that allows me to get lots of money. I mean lots of money, almost infinite amounts of money. Not 9999 or 9 million. We're talking about 9 billion, 9 trillion. Yeah, it's almost impossible. You should see the levels in this game here, see how far it goes, but I'll get that to later. But for now, you get to a monolith. You're thinking, what should I do with this monolith? It mentions about the loon. And there's one other item that I need here that I got before. It's called the pocket watch. Pass this out, and you thought maybe the game will crash. Well, I'll sing a tune, and the time loon underneath the moon. Lots of rhyming in this game here, you noticed. And that's the loon. This is a very important character. Not just for talking, but you also need to buy a very specific item from him. And that's where the money comes in. And you only get one chance in this guy. Because once you leave, once you finish with this guy, he tells you back to headquarters. And believe me, you don't want to go through that maze again. Now this guy, he's the second guy right now that tells you about the story of the game and what needs to be done. The story is kind of interesting here, but it's not bad. It has to build the triangles of balance and that. Talks about good and evil. Now you notice here that the characters actually give the questions. I believe the computer version, you actually have to. Now I don't have 10,000, so that's gonna suck. So what I did, I pretty much save stated. So that's the bird in the cage. You need that to finish the game, to bypass certain doors, to get a specific item. So what I'm gonna do is, as I mentioned before, if you do not have enough money, he's gonna kick you right out, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to load stater right now, because I don't want to go through the maze again, and believe me, you don't want to go through it again, ever. So right now, I put the code in, that lets me get a lot of money. So now I got the bird, and just going through the phase again here. Now, once you pay for his services, he's going to give you more information. so I'm just gonna go bypass that. I will, in the video or in the comments there, I will put the code in case you guys want to try this game. I didn't bother put the code in the beginning because there's no point. There's no good enough items to buy, and there's no point putting the code in later because I might have mentioned in the video or not that experience is more important than the gold, even though you need to buy items to buy. Sorry, you need to buy items, but experience is also just as important as gold. And here we get some hints there. He tells you what needs to be done, each with a rod. And that just means you need to get 4, I hate to say, elemental rods from the second last level of the game. And you need to put them in placements. And that's what the loon does. And you don't need to see him ever again. But he is a very vital piece of NPC that you need to talk to while playing this game here. Now, not only that, now you probably notice how much money do I got? A lot. Now, I didn't have to use the code. I just want to bypass the part, but there's no way to turn off. However, with that much money, it will become very apparent later on, especially when I meet some NPCs that will have some wicked items to buy. So, I'm not very fussy about that, but anyway, that will help me during the course of the game here, especially when I defeat certain bosses or myself. Well, I'll get to that. So right now I'm trying to get some decent HP in that. And I believe the last Wizardry game, I think I bet the game at level 11, but this particular game you need a little bit more high levels because some of the bosses that are coming up, well, they can outright kill you. And there's a lot of monsters. Now I did mention before that there is actually different spells in the game. You can actually summon creatures. You can summon a creature. You can do the wishing like the Haman and the Mahaman. Might probably do that later on, but not right now. But those summon creatures will probably take the pressure off you, especially when they hit those guys, and you can well up on them. So right now, I'm not exactly finished that particular level as yet. There's one more thing that needs to be done, and that's especially, as mentioned before, using the cursed petrified item there that needs to be equipped. I will need to get that equipped to bypass a wall, or a demon wall, to get at a specific item again. So I'll leave that to the next part here. It's going to be killing, but I'm not really regretting how much money I got there. Just don't say bad to the comments there. There's going to be a reason why. Also be a reason why I'll need all that money, as mentioned before. They buying items off of NPCs at the layer levels. So believe me, you're going to need a lot of money. So I'll let this part go. Next part, I will equip the petrified demon back to the level it was before. It shouldn't take too long. I can actually go the other route. Or I should go the same route I was at before, which I'm not going to do. So, you notice there I got the rubber duck there. I finally got that identified. And the next part, part 10, will get cursed. See you next time.